the Education Act in 1870, the area had to provide education for all children aged between 5 and 14. At that time, there were no board schools in the country. The first board school in Folkestone to open was North Board School, but that soon proved to be inadequate. The growth after the railway was so rapid that it was evident that Folkestone had to provide for another school. And in 1895, the land where this school is now was owned by Lord Radnor, and he agreed to sell 1 acre of it for £800. He offered to pay half that himself, and the remaining 400 was to be paid by the school board. Plans for the school were drawn up, and the accommodation was meant to be for 100 boys, 80 girls and 132 infants. The children were to be segregated, although all the departments were on the same site in Sydney Street. On the 20th of June 1896, the foundation stone was laid by Stephen Penfold, who was the chairman of the school board. At that time, George Spurgeon was the chair of Folkestone District Council. He was actually chair twice, in 1890 and again in 1896. The first staff appointed to George Spurgeon School were Mr. T. Jones, who was the first master of the boys' school, Miss L. Stevens, who was the mistress of the girls' school, and Miss Hugill, who was the mistress of the infants' school. Now the school is 100 years old this week. We've decided to celebrate by having our centenary celebrations running over the whole week. As you can see, I'm wearing a Victorian costume today. Today, Monday, is a Victorian day. The children are all coming to school dressed as Victorians, and the teachers are dressed as Victorians as well. It'll be quite a formal day, and we're even going to have a ceremonial beating for some lucky boy.
Left, touching your ear, each time. Left, right, touching your ear, and stand still. Jump, together, jump, apart, together, apart, together, and still. Some people can't manage that. Right. Yeah. Arms out, and down, and out, and down, and out, and down, and out, and down. Keep your feet apart. Put your hands in the air. And from here, touch the ground. Go. And down. And up. And down. And up. And down. And up. And down. Fetch me my cane. Stand up. Feet together. Edwards, I said with your legs apart, and you stood there like a nincompoop with your legs together. Come here. Just there, boy. Bend over. How many? Ow! Ow! Stand up, boy. Now back to the line. Stand still and together. Apart. Together. Apart. Together. Apart. Together. Apart. Together. And stand still. And still. One hand, your left hand, swing it round by your ear. Touch your ear. Round you go. And again, and again, and again. Now, and this, then this. As though you're swimming backwards.
Put your hat on, boy.
Good.
Goodness me.
And still.
That he has not been doing as he was asked.
Oh dear. Well, I'm not having that. Answering back as well, I suppose. Yes? You might go and get my stick, please. Right, bend over, boy. How many? 10? 10? Stand up. Are you crying, boy?
No.
Good. Back to your class. Anybody else misbehaving? No. Right. Stand still then.
Silence.
Running on the spot. Begin. Get those knees up. Lift your knees up. Up. Good. Run. And still. Frederick, come out to the front. On your own, running on the spot. Begin. Knees up, boy. Very good, and still. You dropped a penny.
Pick your hat up, boy.
It's got to be a penny.
Headmaster, this boy is in big trouble. He keeps throwing his hat on the ground, and he's laughing at me, Headmaster.
Bring him out to the front.
Morgan, how could you?
I can't do a thing with him, Headmaster. He's just laughing at me.
How many shall we give him? No, I think he's learned his lesson.
Have you learnt your lesson, boy?
Just a threat is enough.
Some of the most popular names in 1897 were Annie, Florence, Alice and Edith. And for boys, Frederick or Fred, George, William, Albert, Edward and Charles. And you can see there's quite a difference between those names then and the popular names nowadays. For instance, the modern names might be Sarah, Kelly, Samantha, Jodie, Emma. And for boys, James, Christopher, Ben, Daniel or David. And the children are taught in a very formal way today. The desks are in lines and they're taught very, very formally in quite a simple way compared to the massive curriculum that we're expected to give the children in the late 20th century.
Clark, could you get me the hat, please? This is not your best work, is it, boy? And why not? Wear this. Go and stand by the piano. Let this be a warning to you. If you don't work properly, then you'll wear the dunce's cap and you'll stand by the piano for 5 minutes. I will not tolerate shoddy work. Turn around and face this way. Right. Right, the rest of kindness, please. Geoffrey, bring me back my hat. Thank you. Do not talk to anybody. Do not turn around. Put your other hand on your desk. That's very nice. What a clever boy. Very nice writing back here. Will you ever manage to write with a pen, I wonder? Just look at you. Mrs. Clark, will you ever? Well, you can't go out to work writing on a slate. I'm sorry, you're going to have to learn to use that pen. If Jamie Philpott can do it left-handed, you can do it right-handed. Now, hurry up. Shannon Palmer, turn round. Right, you can write the rest of this line. Soon gains affection. Best writing. Kindness soon gains affection. I shall stand it on the piano. A warning for anybody else. If you'd like to think they don't need to work properly. So, Christopher, have another go with that pen.
Discipline in Victorian times was very strict. Caning was very common. And we've got a visiting Victorian teacher today who'll be very strong on discipline with the children, and he's teaching children of 8, 9 and 10-year-olds.
Anyway, well done, there's hands going up. Come on, yes boy.
5.
Dear, oh dear. If you're guessing why you're putting your hands up, tell me then. Well, if you say there's 2, tell me what they are. Yes, boy. Say it clearly and don't rock around. I was giving you permission to stay seated. Old Testament and New Testament. The Old Testament is the Jewish history. So the New Testament is all to do with Christ, and the Old Testament, the Jewish history. That's simple. How many books are there in the Bible from start to finish? There are 66. How many sections?
66.
No, how many sections? No, I told you. 2. And in those 2 sections, there are 66 books. Homework might be again for these, as they have nothing else to do. These new matchboxes that are coming out, they can put covers around them and put the name of each book on the Bible and make their own library of 66 and then put them in correct order. What is the first book in the Bible? Don't go hard and lean off the table. Yes, boy?
The Old Testament.
No, the first book. It's the first book in the Old Testament. You may not know it. If you do not go to Sunday school, and if you have not been taught properly, which it looks as though you have not, Genesis, well done, girl. Genesis is the first book in the Bible. Say it. Speak it louder, girl. Genesis. It means the beginning. The beginning of your life was the genesis of your life. All of you, say it together. Genesis. Now give me the first book in the Bible, quick. Come on, first book in the Bible. They seem to know, you should remember it. Genesis, say it. Genesis, say it properly. Genesis. Right. How many books in the Bible?
That's very nice, Sarah. Well done. Get rid of those rubber marks, please.
Very nice, Christina. Congratulations. Really tried extremely hard with that. May even be able to display it for your mamas and your papas to look at. Very nice, Sarah. Don't do too much emphasis on the outline. Concentrate on the shade, please. Nice piece of work, Kevin. Well done. It's coming very nicely, Russell. You've got a very difficult angle for some of it. Don't forget to see if you can put the stalk in on the top of the apple, and then we'll know that it is an apple. Very nice, Thomas. Don't put too much more detail on it, or I think you might spoil it. Just fold your arms and have a look at it now. That's it. Very nice, Michelle. Congratulations. Well done. Much better detail. Now, Jamie, we've had a whole Victorian day of education. How do you think it's changed from 100 years ago to present day lessons?
The writing has changed a lot. So, like the capital letters are all completely different. The way that the lessons are taught are different in the way that today for our news, instead of just writing it out normally, you have to actually copy it all down.
Mm-hmm.
And
what about the maths? How do you think the maths has changed? What have we done differently today?
we've actually said them out as a class instead of writing them down on paper separately.
That's right. And what did we actually speak out loud all together as a class?
All of us that done all of our tables.
All of us that did all of our tables.
All of us that did all of our tables said them out loud in the whole class.
That's right. Which do you think you've preferred? Do you like lessons that we do now, or do you think you would like to have done the Victorian lessons all the time?
I prefer the lessons that we do now because they're a lot more simple.
And they're simple, but do you think you're learning as much?
No.
You don't? You think the Victorian children knew more than you do?
Yeah. Yes.
But did the Victorian children have all the books to look at that you have?
No.
Could they just go up to the library?
No.
So do you think they learnt more sums and
Yes.
basic handwriting? Do you think they had a general knowledge?
Not quite as much, not as much as us, but the teachers were stricter, so I think they would have learnt more maths and English.
Good, well done. So do you think then that you would like to have been alive then? Because did you enjoy the drill session in the playground this
Yes.
morning? Why?
I just found it fun when we were doing all the jumping.
But would you have liked to have done that every day?
No.
I mean, what PE do you do nowadays in the week at school?
Rounders and
Yeah, football.
cricket.
And what about on a Friday?
We have swimming on Friday, which they wouldn't have had.
No, the first classes at George Spurgeon School, or Sydney Street as it was called, didn't have swimming, but by about the year 1910, the top classes were going regularly for swimming lessons, so that stayed the same, hasn't it?
Yes.
Jamie, which do you prefer, the clothes that you've worn today as a Victorian child, or the clothes that you normally wear to school?
In a way, I would prefer the Victorian clothes because they're a lot more fresher than the big sweatshirts. But I find that it's not quite. I prefer the normal clothes in a way because they're more simple than all of the old clothes that they used to wear. And it's a lot easier to get changed and dressed again after PE.
Do you think you would be warm enough if you were just wearing this, because you would have worn this summer and winter?
In the winter you get very cold because you're only wearing a shirt and a waistcoat.
So all in all you prefer being alive in the 20th century rather than the 19th century?
Yes.
Good. Thank you, Jamie. You answered that very nicely. Now, put your pencils down and hold your arms and look at your pictures. And after you look at your picture, please give yourself a mark out of 10. After you've looked at your picture, please give yourself a mark out of 10 and write it on the corner, please. I don't expect anybody to give them a mark lower than 5 out of 10, but neither do I expect anybody to give themselves a perfect 10 out of 10. I think, Carlin, you should be sitting up more neatly, please. Victorian children didn't sprawl across their desks in that fashion.
Nice big drawing. Put your hand down, boys. Look at you. Lee, carry on, sit. Right, Jonathan, what do you think life was like during the Second World War if you were an evacuee?
I think it would probably be quite hard for the children having to leave their families and knowing what things to take and worrying about whether they be with people that like them or not.
How would it be for a boy like you with rationing, without any sweets?
I don't think they'd like it very much, really. Not having sweets and their favourite foods. Really, so I wouldn't like it.
Would you like, when it's an air raid, would you like to go into an Anderson shelter? What would it be like, do you think, having to sleep the night in an Anderson shelter?
I think it'd be dark, and if there'd been a lot of rain, it'd be wet and damp. And I wouldn't enjoy it very much in the dark, hearing all the planes going over.
Do you get the cane now?
Yeah, sometimes. Miss Porter don't hit us with the cane because she ain't got one.
In Victorian times, it was a lot stricter. How do you think it was more stricter than what it is now?
Well, they had the cane whenever they were late or didn't do a lesson in, and the teacher used to give them a cane because she used to whack a cane against her table to whack them to make them in time with the reading, and if they got a word wrong, they used to get the cane.
Do you think it was stricter to be at school in Victorian times than it is today?
The teacher used to have ink instead of pens or pencils for the register, and they had drill instead of PE.
Would you like to live in the Victorian times?
No. Yeah.
Do you think it's better at school now, do you?
Yeah.
You do. It's not so strict, is it?
No.
And the teachers are nicer?
Yeah. Yeah.
This morning, we're going to have a fashion show for you. And the idea of this fashion show is to give you a feeling about how fashions have changed over the years. But if you look very carefully, you'll see that we haven't changed that much. So fashion is the word that we use to describe the style of clothing which is currently being worn by usually the younger generation. And that, we think, covers from teenagers to early 30s. So that includes all of the teachers. Okay, so if we start off with the clothes that people were wearing yesterday, clothes of Victorian times, they would have been influenced by what European men and women were wearing. You were all wearing lots of different styles, the teachers were wearing different styles, and today we have Miss Austin, who is actually dressed probably as Mrs. George Spurgeon would have been dressed when she went shopping. When she went shopping, carrying her basket, no carrier bags, you notice. Lovely hats. Ladies would not be seen out without hats. Lots and lots of black clothes. Right, next period of history we have for you, Edwardians. Miss Maddox. Long back on it. The hat again. Hardly seen without a hat. And something that ladies always used to wear, and you very rarely see them wearing now, gloves. Special lace around her collar is a jabot. And we have another Edwardian lady, Mrs. Bell. Now, look at Mrs. When Mrs. Bell turns round, she has something very peculiar on. It's called a bustle. And ladies in the Edwardian era thought this made them look really good. Mrs. Bell's a bit concerned. Also, we have the lovely trim ankles peeping out from under the bottom of the skirt. Dainty little bags. Lost his little, oh, he's got a curl in the middle of his forehead. For normal going out occasions, he would have been wearing a hat. Next period of fashion is for the First World War. And we have Mrs. Young, who was a landowner girl. Khaki overall and with close on to the army than the time of war. And this is green. Now, this is a very special outfit for the 1920s. She has a very special name. She's actually called a flapper. Mrs. Green's special little hat was called a cloche. Move on a little now through history. Mrs. Doyle. But this would have been for the Second World War. She would always have to carry around her gas mask. She didn't always have time to take her rollers out first thing in the morning. And usually those rollers would have stayed in anyway, so that she looked very glamorous for evenings. Nice small boots she has. Really delicate boots. Now this is a very special uniform. And if you're very quiet, Mrs. Jakes will tell you all about this uniform.
I'm an ARP warden and I have been responsible during air raids to try and make sure that people had their blackout curtains drawn and that they got down to the air raid shelters safely. This is my gas mask case. And this is my hard hat. I needed in case there was an air raid. And I've had to take this hat off. This one on in case I got hit by any falling rubble.
Note, not tights, these are stockings with a very special seam up the back. And during the war, ladies used to draw that seam on. If they didn't have any stockings with the seam up, they used to draw it on with an eye makeup pencil. Or a friend would do it for them, stand there and they'd be drawing lines in. Because it was very fashionable to be wearing stockings with seams.
They were sometimes made from parachutes. I've got a first aid badge, so if anybody was injured during an air raid, I'd be able to do some first aid on them.
For the early 1950s, a lot of the fashions looked very American. There would be very full skirts, very full petticoats. into the 50s was a very, very special time. The 1960s.
When we started organising the Centenary Week, we decided that we wanted to involve everyone involved with the school. The parents, the governors, staff, and of course the children. We also wanted to include an element of history. Mrs. Wyatt organised the children in the infants, and they took as their theme, Toys Through the Ages. I organised the juniors, and we decided that we would do songs and dances, starting right from the Victorians right through to modern day. As far as possible, we included every child in the school, right from the nursery right up to year 6. And we started our concert with a scene from a Victorian street life.
Muffins, kettles to men, pots and kettles to men. I'm old and I've only got one eye. My ears are floppy and torn. The stuffing has crumbled in my leg. And always go where you go. I'll snuggle up close in bed. I'll always be there. Chatter, 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 chatter. The people on the bus go chatter, chatter, chatter all day long. John Brown had a little motor car. 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 One little motor car.
There was one, there were two, there were three little motor cars, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little motor cars, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little motor cars, 10 little motor cars. And again, John Brown had a little motor car. John Brown had a little motor car. John Brown had a little motor car. One little motor car. There was 1 little, 2 little, 3 little motor cars, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little motor cars, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little motor cars, 10 little motor cars.
Daisy, Daisy.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, dear. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but you look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle made for two.
By Rudyard Kipling. I went into a public house to get a pint of beer. The publican, he often says, "We serve no redcoats here." The girls behind the bar, they laughed and giggled, fit to die. I out to the streets again and to myself, says I.
Oh, it's Tommy this and Tommy that and Tommy go away. I bet it's thank you, Mr. Atkins, when the band begins to play. The band begins to play. My boys, the band begins to play. But it's thank you, Mr. Atkins, when the band begins to play.
I went into a theatre, as sober as could be. They gave the drunks Villy a room, but they hadn't none for me. They sent me to the gallery, or me out round the music halls. But when it comes to fighting, Lord, they'll shove me in the stalls.
For it's Tommy this and Tommy that and Tommy go away. But it's special train for Atkins when the troopers on the tide. Troop ships on the tide, my boys, the troop ships on the tide. But it's special train for Atkins when the troop ships on the tide.
Talk of better food for us, in schools and fires and all. We'll wait for extra rations if you treat us rational. Don't mess around the cookroom slots, but prove it to our face. A widow's uniform is not a soldier man's disgrace.
For it's Tommy this and Tommy that, and chuck him out the brute. But it's saviour of his country when the guns begin to shoot. It's Tommy this and Tommy that, and anything you please. But it Tommy ain't a blooming fool when you bet that Tommy sees. awful black. She blew, blew, blew. The engineer said the train must halt and she blew. The engineer said the train must halt and she blew. The engineer said the train must halt. He said it was all the fireman's fault and she blew, blew, blew. The fireman said he rang the bell and she blew. The fireman said he rang the bell and she blew. The fireman said he rang the bell. The engineer said you did like, and she blew, blew, blew. The porter got an awful fright and she blew. The porter got an awful fright and she blew. The porter got an awful fright, got so scared he near turned bright. She blew, blew, blew. The conductor said there'll be a wreck and she blew. The conductor said there'll be a wreck and she blew. The conductor said there'll be a wreck and she blew round his head and she blew, blew, blew. The runaway train went over the hill and she blew. The runaway train went over the hill and she blew. The runaway train went over the hill, and the last we heard she was going still, and she blew, blew, blew.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy, was he? Soldier, soldier, marching all day long, with your trumpet and your little drum, marching along, going 1, 2, 3. Smart uniforms, stock and so brightly.
World War II by J5 and J6.
The light reveling. He's the boogie boogie bugle boy company bee. A toot roses into the bar. He will keep rhythm. He can't follow no unless a bass and guitar is playing with him. He makes a country jump when he plays reveling. He's the boogie boogie bugle boy company bee. He was a boogie boogie bugle boy company bee. When he plays boogie boogie bugle, he was busy as a blues bee. When he plays, he makes a country jump into the bar. He's the boogie boogie bugle boy company bee. Two roses into the bar. He can the blowing notes, hit the bass and guitar and the and the company jumps when he plays reveling. He's the boogie boogie bugle boy company bee.
television, before penicillin, polio shots, frozen food, Xerox, plastic, contact lenses, videos and frisbees. We were born before radar, credit cards, split atoms, laser beams and ballpoint pens, before dishwashers, tumble dryers, electric blankets, air conditioning, drip dry clothes and before man walked on the moon. We thought fast food was what you ate in Lent, a Big Mac was an oversized raincoat, and crumpets we had for tea. We existed before house husbands, computer dating, dual careers, and when a meaningful relationship meant getting along with cousins, and sheltered accommodation was where you waited for a bus. We were before daycare centres, group homes and disposable nappies. We never heard of FM radio, tape decks, electric typewriters, artificial hearts, word processors, yoghurt and young men wearing earrings. For us, time sharing meant togetherness. A ship was a piece of wood, a fried potato. Hardware meant nuts and bolts, and software wasn't a word.
Before 1940, Major Japan meant junk and the term making out, referred to how you did your exams. Pizzas, McDonald's and instant coffee was unheard of. In our day, cigarette smoking was fashionable. Grass was mown, coke was kept in the car house, a joint was a piece of meat you had on Sundays, and pot was what you cooked in. Rock music was a grandmother's lullaby, and Eldorado was an ice cream.
We who were born before 1940 must be a hardy bunch. When you think of the way in which the world has changed and the adjustments we have had to make no wonders, we are so confused and there is a generation gap today.
But by the grace of God, we survived. Alleluia.
Friday, so every Friday. with rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. She shall have music wherever she goes.
of the last century. We've taken you from the Victorian times right up to the 60s and 70s. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves this afternoon as much as the children have enjoyed themselves putting this on for you. They got ever so excited this afternoon, especially after yesterday and this morning. We've got more to do this week. Tomorrow we're actually burying a time capsule in the wall, and contrary to rumour, it won't contain me. And then Thursday is the party, and Friday's the children's party. We had a visit of an entertainer, and he entertained the children with a Punch and Judy show and magic show.
Boys, is whatever we do this morning, don't take it too seriously. It's just a little bit of fun.
Hey, look at that. Hold on to that one, Simon. Come over this way, Kaylee. Can you hold on to that one there for me with that hand? Keep that hand down. Girls, boys, can you all do a nice big magic light? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes, look at that. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 solid silver rings, all joined together.
Mr. Punch has been very, very naughty lately. He's actually in there. He's busy tidying up his bedroom at the moment, so I don't want to disturb him just yet. It's taken me a week to get him to do that.
He's just getting dressed. He'll come up and see you, OK? And don't forget to say hello to him. I'll go in there and have a cup of tea. Right, Mr. Punch. You lazy thing. Are you ready, Mr. Punch? Yes. OK, then. I want you to pop upstairs and say hello to the boys and girls. OK. And I'll all say hello, Mr. Punch. What are you doing back down here, Mr. Punch? They weren't very loud. I thought they were lovely now. Mr. Punch has promised to look after the baby. I think he deserves a kiss. Come and get a kiss then, Mr. Punch. Oh, yes. Now, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Boys and girls? No! What have you done with my baby, Mr. Punch? It fell out of the window. I expect you threw it down the stairs, didn't he, boys and girls? Well done, Mr. Punch. Look, you just take it easy there. I'll go to the boys and girls and see what they've been up to. Okay, because I'm sure that they've never so busy. Hello, boys and girls. Did you see Mr. Punch? To make the magic work, Rebecca, is hit the bag with the magic wand. Ow! I was not ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's brilliant. Okay. And what we do is put that down over there for a second. I've got another handkerchief here. This is the white handkerchief. Red handkerchief, sorry about that. Oh, it's all going wrong. Can you put that into the bag for me as well, Rebecca? Put it right into the very bottom this time. Like, oh, we can do that. Doesn't matter. Take hold of the magic wand, and to make the magic work, hit the bag with the... Ow! Could have had any one of those girls. It doesn't matter, Rebecca. I think I'm okay. Yeah. Okay, I've got one more handkerchief. This, of course, is the blue handkerchief. Thank you. I knew it was blue because I blew my nose on it this morning. It's all right. I washed it before I came out. And can you put that into the bag for me as well, Rebecca? Right into the very bottom. Okay, right down in the very bottom there. Doesn't matter. There you go. Yeah, go on. Okay, whatever you do, mind my hand. All you have to do, Rebecca, is hit the bag to make the magic work. Just hit the bag to make the magic work. Mind my fingers. Just hit the bag to make the magic work. Ow! Did you? Oh no, it wasn't! flag that we made. And I'll give you a big clap. There you go. Brilliant. There you go. Hooray! Yes! Give Rebecca a nice big clap there, someone. It's not a flag, it's a chicken. How did that get in there? I'll give you another... Okay. 2 very gentle taps this time, okay? Very gentle, okay? One hot and one cold. Give me back the magic wand. Ow! What am I doing? We handed them back. Take out the flag with a bit of luck. Give Rebecca a nice big clap down the wall.
When the school was originally built, there were 6 more classrooms in the main building than there are now. And in the Second World War, a shell came across from France and actually took out 6 of the classrooms. If you look against this wall here, this is where the corridor was originally, and on the far wall were the actual classrooms themselves. And there were 3 classrooms downstairs, accessed by the corridor, and 3 classrooms upstairs. And the German shell, luckily, didn't explode, but it did so much damage that directly after the war, the local authority had to take the side of the school down and just reinforce it, and weren't able to afford to rebuild the 6 classrooms. And they put in place these Horsa huts, and the classrooms here were meant to be here for 5 years as temporary classrooms after the war. The school originally had a bell tower, and that was rung every morning to tell the children that it was time for school. And that too was destroyed. This is the entrance to the Second World War air raid shelters. They were trench shelters built just before the beginning of the Second World War, and they could accommodate up to 400 people sleeping here overnight or during an air raid. They were often used by the school for air raid practice, and they were in constant use by the school and the ARP during the Second World War. The steps to either side were built to give access to the rest of the field, and the air raid shelter extends to a good quarter of the existing field. Here's the original boys' entrance. You can see from the words written on the wall, and they had to come to school up Bridge Street. The girls came in from Sydney Street, and they came into the front of the school through the entrance at the front, and the infants came in downstairs as well. But of course the boys had to be kept separately, and then they went upstairs, and all their classrooms were upstairs in the main building. The boys came in their entrance and went upstairs, and if you look at the building now, you can see the 6 windows that were actually the original windows in the building when it was built. You can see here the beautiful decoration on the front of the school. The sort of detail like this is never found nowadays. Just below the decoration are the original windows, again part of the boys' school on the first floor. In the corner of the school playground is the original schoolhouse, and this house was part of the main school right up until the 1990s, when the local authority sold it off. When did you start school here, Mr. Clark?
In 1910.
And when did you leave?
1919.
Was it a nice school that you came to?
It was very good.
And what's the sort of things that you used to do?
We did it as we were told.
Did you? Were they good teachers?
very good, yes. Some better than others, we would understand, yes.
And what were the names of the teachers? Can you remember any?
Yes, the first one I remember is Miss Bevan, who became Mrs. Curley. Then Mr. Hardy. Then Mr. Ditlock.
Yeah.
Then Mr. Brady, who was the top teacher. And the headmaster was Mr. Greenstreet.
Mr. Greenstreet?
Yes.
Ah, and when you left, did you have good qualifications?
I had no documents, so it didn't seem to issue any, unless you qualified for the grammar school.
Right. Did many boys go to the grammar school?
There was usually only about 6 out of the ordinary schools that qualified to go. 3.
What was discipline like in those days?
Pretty tough.
Was it?
Because it needed to be.
And what did they do?
Use a cane a bit.
Did they?
Yeah.
Mr. Clark, did you enjoy coming to school yesterday to visit with some of your old friends?
I think it was one. Only one in my age group did I meet here.
Ah, so you were the sole survivor?
And that one was named Mr. Sharman.
Mr. Sharman?
Yes.
Oh, and he had a number of brothers, didn't he?
Yeah, there were 7 brothers came here together.
Goodness.
Their photograph was in there.
Oh, lovely. Did you find a photograph of yourself?
No, but I heard about it afterwards. It said I was the smallest looking chap in the photograph.
Oh, right, well thank you very much. That's lovely. On the afternoon of the last day of the week, the parents and friends of the school organised a wonderful party for all the children in the playground. Right, if you listen carefully, I'll read out the card. Are you listening? Congratulations from all of us. 100. Remember, behind every successful school, there's a bunch of talented, terrific, good as they come friends. And it's from the parents and friends of George Spurgeon School. Let's give them a big cheer. Hooray! Hip hip! Hip hip! A big one! Hip hip! Well done.